Okay, for this quick tutorial, we're going to go over just copying, pasting, and just making new layers and understanding how to just manipulate those. So I picked a photo since it's Spirit Day. That would be as appropriate. Um, so let's say you have an image and you want a specific element that you want to just kind of crop out and duplicate or paste into another layer. What you're going to do is you're most likely going to use one of these selection tools. So there's a selection tool here on your toolbar. If you hold it down, you'll see you have other options, rectangular and elliptical. So you might also have like rectangular, single rectangular marquee tools. Some of you have those. And then I have a lasso tool. And if I hold down a lasso tool, I'll have a lasso tool, a polygonal lasso tool, and you might have a magnetic lasso tool as well. Let's see if I have that in here. No. So for this image, I'm going to zoom up here on Mr. Rader's head. And let's say that he is the one we want to duplicate. And so I'm going to want to zoom up a little bit and make sure I have like easy access to what I'm selecting. I'm going to use a lasso tool because that's going to give me a way to kind of draw and kind of create organic shapes. So I'm going to take the lasso tool and I'm just going to click and slowly kind of just draw the area I want to kind of take out. All right. I want to connect it to my beginning point. That way I have everything selected. It tells me what I have selected. I can zoom back out. And now you'll notice on my layers, I only have one layer here. It's unlocked. Sometimes there'll be a lock button here. You can double click that to unlock the layer. One layer. And let's say I want to get Mr. Rader's face on all these other basketball players. What I'll do next is I'll hit Command C, or you can go up to Edit, Copy. You'll see the hotkeys here. It'll tell you what to hit for all of the hotkeys. I just hit Command C, and then I'll hit Command V, or you can do Edit, Paste, which is Command V. What you'll notice is I created a new layer, and you'll see Mr. Rader's head really small there on the layer on transparent background. And I can click in between these layers. But if I want to access what I just cut out, what I just pasted, I need to click this layer. But right now I can't actually see where that is. So if I go to my Move tool, I'll click my Move tool, and you'll notice it has crosshairs. If you want to see these crosshairs, you'll need to make sure that this Show Transform Controls is actually selected. If I deselect that, I can still move Mr. Rader's head, but I actually don't know how I want to make it. If I want to make it larger or if I want to rotate it, I'll need to be able to see how to do that. So I will hit select this. For example, if I wanted to rotate the head or make it larger, I would really need those crosshairs. Okay, I'm going to go back to my previous move. Let's see. Okay. What I also clicked here was history. So on your right-hand side, you'll have different options and brushes and whatnot. But this is actually your history. You can also view your history by going to Window and then History. So if you're wanting to go back a step, you could also hit Command Z. You'll have to actually hold down Option Command Z to keep going back, where you can actually go click on your history and see everything you've done and go back that way too. So I'm going to actually show you another little trick here. We can continue copying and pasting, all right, and paste a bunch of these and make new layers. But it gets kind of crazy. The more I don't know if I want to make so many layers. So here's an alternative. I'm going to go back. So I just have two layers here, and I'm going to actually just you'll notice my mouse. I'm going to hit Option. On your keyboard, it might be Alt. If I hold down Alt, you'll see that I have two cursors. One little white one that appears behind my black cursor. If you hold down Alt and click, you can actually click and drag and duplicate items. And it will still create multiple layers, but there'll be copies of that layer. So let's say I keep doing that. I can actually take Mr. Rader's head and just It's really easy. Copy and paste is easy too. Sometimes I found this to be even easier. And that way I can go in and see which layer I selected. And let's see if I can try to match this up a little more so it looks more realistic. Maybe make Mr. Hit Raider's head's already pretty big, but we'll make it even bigger. Let's see, I'll press enter. This one. You rotate it a little bit. Alright. Once you've done your adjustments, you might have to press enter for it to know that you're finished. Okay, get these guys all squared up. A little bit pixelated. Image is a little bit dodgy. Zoom out, and that's yours truly right here. Now we have a pretty good basketball team now, probably better than before. But that's how you can duplicate any element of your work. And then let's say that you wanted to merge all these layers together, and you're like, well, this is kind of hard moving in between each head. If you're done with the heads and you know you don't need to access them anymore, what you can do is you can click on your layers. I'm going to hold down shift here so I select all of these extra layers, and I can actually go and go to layer up at the top, and I can group layers, or I can also merge layers. And so in our situation, if I wanted to make it into one layer, I would just click merge layers or merge visible. So I'm going to click merge layers. You notice that made all those heads into one layer, and that might be convenient for you later. You can always go back and undo that if you didn't want to do that. Okay, so that should help you with duplicating things, cutting things out, pasting them. This could be advantageous for you to know in case you want to create wacky photos, but also for your visual studies. Cool, hope that helps.